breaking news.
That's right, Ashton. We certainly do.
Breaking. Developing currently.
Yes.
Danny Masterson going to prison for the rest of his life.
Well, is it the rest of his life? 30 years?
It's possible. He has to spend 85% of that 30 years behind bars, 100%, has to do it.
Yeah, he's not going to come out like a virile young man. You know, he's going to be in rough shape. He's definitely going to have like a walker or something, or who knows what's going to happen to him.
He's going to have a walker next week because he's going to get clapped.
Yeah.
You're going to get them cheeks clapped in prison, buddy.
Fresh fish.
Or maybe he can star on The Irishman 2 when he gets out and be a 30-year-old again.
Yeah, just put a milkman hat on him.
Yeah, he's going to go back into like that, 2010 show or something, or he's going to go right back to work.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was big news. Not everybody was aware that Danny Masterson had even been convicted last May.
Yeah.
People were like, what? What are you talking about when I would bring it up?
Yeah, I was one of those people. You told me at the Ween concert we went to, and I was like, wait, what? He was actually convicted? And you were like, yeah.
Whoa.
I had no idea.
Big news drop right there. The Ween concert. Just casually drop that in there.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say Ween? Whoops. Yeah, we're at the
Pick
Ween
that
concert.
name right back up.
Yeah.
Drop that one.
Fancy. Wow.
One of those important evenings
Very important.
in our lives.
You guys have been very hush-hush about this evening. And nor have I asked a lot about it.
It never ended, basically.
Okay, it's still the same night.
Well, it went into the next morning for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Sexually.
all right. Hey, let's stay on track here. So Danny Masterson's sentence, the judge showed absolutely zero leniency.
Boy, could he have went bigger with the sentence?
No, it was the max.
Yeah, he went as big as he could go.
So what is it, like 10 years per victim? I don't know exactly what the
15 years per victim. Yeah, because there were 2 convictions, and then the third was
One
deadlocked.
Oh, and that's the girl,
Yes.
Jane Doe number 3, who had a lot to say on her Instagram story yesterday.
Yes, and we are coming to that.
Okay, all right.
But first, I would like to set the stage because with his conviction, some old Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher clips have been resurfacing.
Yeah.
So why don't we start out with a clip from the Rosie O'Donnell show in the late 90s?
I think we might as well.
She's a pig.
Hey, it says that you have said women are disgusting and overweight and ugly.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
So in this clip, Ashton and Mila are on promoting that 70s show, which was in its infancy at the time. And he has a strange story about a certain bet that he made with Danny Masterson regarding a then 14-year-old Mila Kunis.
Oh, boy.
She was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are going to be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly
I was
illegal,
gonna say that's
right?
probably your first kiss ever, right?
It was my first kiss. Why don't you tell them what bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss.
No,
This was like
go
a
ahead,
second or
Ashton.
third kiss.
It was like the first week.
No, it was not the first week.
Whatever. Let me tell you what happened.
No, let me tell you what happened.
No. Okay, so I've never kissed a guy. So I was so. I mean, Ashton's attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life.
Sure.
And he was very nice about it. He was like, "Oh, don't worry." So I was like,
Nice.
"Okay." Then Danny goes and goes, "Dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her." What would you stick your tongue in my mouth or some?
What? No.
For $10.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet going.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
It
one?
wasn't very
as to whether or not, you're kissing on the show or boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
You would use tongue, right, Rosie? I mean, you would.
It depends what kind
I
of
bet you it was a
actor
bigger
are.
bet than that.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah.
So Danny bets me like $20 that I wouldn't do it, and of course I'm like, yeah, sure. What's the deal? You know?
And then the cop showed up and you got arrested, pretty much.
They should
That's
have,
right.
He
but they
never
didn't.
did it, and
I
he
so
claimed
did.
He
I so
claims to
did.
this day he did that. I swear.
Mila,
never.
I so did it.
He never did it?
I
so
didn't let
did
him.
it.
I think he tried, but I think I kept my mouth so
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I love how he's trying to incriminate himself.
Yeah, he's trying to
He's
argue.
trying to
like,
save him.
I did French kiss a 14-year-old.
Like this is part of the act, you know. All right, so you do this, Ashton. It's gonna be hilarious.
The only other grown man who's been so gleeful about French kissing a 14-year-old is Gary Glitter.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So Mila's going to deny it, Ashton. You're going to be hilarious and say, yes, I did the statutory rape.
Yeah.
It's going to be so funny.
Yeah, I mean,
The crowd's going to eat it up, which they kind of are, actually.
Yeah.
and Rosie.
It's a little odd.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay, and this next clip is from
got
Conan
more.
O'Brien.
Oh, man.
The Conan O'Brien show. This is resurfaced.
Accent, though. You have no Long Island accent that I can discern.
Not really. I've been in LA for like 10 years.
And it just goes away naturally, right?
It goes away naturally, and then there's also certain words that there's nothing you can do about. Like my friend Bodie Elfman, he always teases me and he says, "Hi, my name is Danny Masterson. Would you like to touch my balls?" Doing an imitation of me, because certain
So
words
why are
you
you
just can't
asking
get away
people to
with.
do that? That's the more important question.
I mean, you got them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Accent
Everybody should
aside.
grab.
That's
more
funny. He's
important.
not even
Exactly.
funny at all. He's terrible.
I've heard about you. And you'll be caught soon. I know you will.
I will.
I will.
Just 10 more years, 15 more years.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. That can't be like,
No.
yeah.
We're having a bit of fun here.
Yeah.
But also,
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
that did go viral, though.
Yes.
At the very least, it shows that Danny Masterson is a criminal when it comes to comedy
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not funny at all.
as well. Okay, and then the final Danny Masterson clip is just, it blew my mind. It'll probably blow your mind too. He was in a little movie called Face Off.
Did he played the face?
He played the off.
He played the on.
Carl, stop it.
Oh my God, that was him.
Carl, stop it.
I totally forgot about this.
Happy hunting.
This is the behind the scenes.
Yeah, like Mr.
Yeah.
fucking Invisible gives a shit about you when it's all fucking old school. Calm down.
He's got a Corvette too. Ooh,
Can we rewind that?
how's he get nuts? There should just be a supercut of just that going on over
Yeah.
and over and over.
Right in the nards.
For 24 hours.
Say you're sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. I mean it.
A young
I'm so
Dominique
sorry.
Swain, which I'm sure she had to deal with his nonsense too.
Yeah.
How about I give you tongue on this take?
So,
Maybe something more than that.
yeah, he showed more remorse in that clip than he did in real life.
Yeah.
And the thing we were talking about on our last episode was Ashton Kutcher's involvement with the Hollywood Ripper case. So he's Danny Masterson's best friend. And in 2001, this is well into that 70s show, after Dude, Where's My Car, he had a date with this aspiring actress named Ashley Ellerin. And he went to pick her up to take her to a post-Grammys party. She didn't answer. He figures she's mad at him because he's running late. He looks through the window and he sees a bunch of red stuff on the carpet. So he's like, oh, she must have been partying. I think that's red wine.
Yeah.
So he leaves. That's what he says. And the next day he finds out she was murdered by the Hollywood Ripper. And he even testified. And he said the same story. And, you know, I didn't buy it when I presented the episode. And I buy it even less this week.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, you were a little not jaded. I guess it's just
Skeptical.
more skeptical about the situation.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh yeah, that's the death of his innocence. That's crazy. He thought it was red wine. He's just like a little boy. But now it makes so much sense that he would have had an idea that something really bad happened, and he's calling his fixers to ask and his lawyers, what should I do? Just like how when William Shatner's wife was found in the pool, even Howard Stern went on and said, I would not touch the body. I would go straight to my lawyer and ask what to do.
Yeah.
So
Which just shows you a lot about him too.
it shows you a lot about the people in this business that are me first. Don't kill my career. I need to make money.
And if Ashton had seen her, then he possibly could have saved her even.
Possibly.
Because that was very shortly after she was murdered, which is another bizarre detail in this case, how close together everything was that night.
Yeah.
And so let's fast forward. He's Danny Masterson's best friend, and we're finding out now that Danny Masterson might have given him some advice on that fateful night in 2001.
Bum, bum, bum.
Because with the conviction, his ex-girlfriend and actually Jane Doe number 3, Chrissy Bixler,
Yeah.
She has been very vocal on social media, slamming Hollywood, basically anyone that, supports Danny Masterson in this case.
Yeah.
And then she also released a bombshell on her Instagram story after the conviction. And after it was leaked that Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, and a host of other people from that 70s show and Scientology wrote letters of support for Danny Masterson. They wrote letters that they thought would be private, and they thought it would go directly to the judge.
Oh, did they think it wasn't going to get leaked?
Oh, of course not.
Wait, how do you know that part?
I've just been reading up on it and hearing things like they requested that it be sealed. And the judge is the one who said, no, I'm not sealing this.
Good.
And that's the same judge that, didn't show any leniency towards Danny Masterson when sentencing.
Wow.
So the dad from that 70s show, also in RoboCop, that guy.
Yeah.
Kurtwood Smith.
Didn't think anyone was going to read this letter.
Exactly.
Because yesterday, or today maybe, Ashton and Mila Kunis put out a video saying, we'd like to apologize for any insensitivity that might have come across from people reading the letter that we wrote in support of Danny Masterson.
Yeah, we have that video too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
So before we get to the video, though, let's just look at what Chrissy wrote on her Instagram story. So she wrote this basically enraged after all the letters became public. Ethan Suplee, Giovanni Ribisi, Billy Baldwin,
All the
and
Scientology people.
China
came
Phillips, who's Bijou Phillips, Danny Masterson's wife's sister, China Phillips. They all wrote letters too.
Giovanni Ribisi did?
Yeah, because he's a Scientologist.
I didn't know
out.
that.
Wait, so just to clear it up, Bijou is his wife.
Yeah, Bijou is his wife.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so here's what Chrissy wrote after finding out about all those shenanigans.
Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model, quote unquote, keeps for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on the speakerphone that night, and you called Danny on February 21st, 2001. I heard everything. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your quote-unquote mentor.
Wow.
That's harsh.
Wait, so Danny's his mentor or the other way around?
I think Ashton was a couple years younger than Danny, so Danny was kind of like a big brother in L.A. for him. Because I think he had just come out, just started acting, and that's like the first big brother figure he met, and it probably was the worst big brother figure ever.
So this is crazy because that's exactly what we were talking about on our last episode. And now she is saying the same thing, except going even a little bit further. That she was there when Ashton called Danny and was asking him, what should I do? I just found this girl murdered. And Danny gave him the advice to shut up, go to the post-Grammys party, and pretend you didn't see it. Say it was red wine.
Wow.
Yeah, and, I think we talked about this because initially we thought maybe he called his agents or other representatives or a lawyer. You don't want to call those people because right away, you're creating like a witness to something else. And you don't want to, at some point it is a crime to leave people in peril that you know are alive.
Yeah.
But you do see those scenes in TV shows and movies like Ray Donovan where they call their agent or whoever and he's like, hey, you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
It's always some scumbag agent in a really nice office.
Yeah. So Mila, Danny, Ashton, they are just the best of buds.
Thick as thieves, these three here.
And yeah, the letter that pissed off Chrissy, Jane Doe number 3. By the way, Chrissy's the one that the jury was deadlocked in her case.
Yeah.
So these are the famous letters that were leaked after the conviction, and they're just ridiculous. Like, Mila and Ashton basically say Danny Masterson is the greatest man that's ever lived.
Yeah.
He's Gandhi. He's Mother Teresa. He's the Pope. Kyle, do you
all
see
bad
any
people?
Well, I heard the gist of Ashton's is, yeah, he's a scumbag, but he's a great guy, and also, yeah, maybe he rapes sometimes.
Right.
That's kind of the gist of it, and I think it kind of acknowledged that he was kind of a weird with women, But I don't know. I these are long letters.
Yeah, Kyle, do you see any phrase that pops out?
But
because she talks about, Mila says he has exceptional character. And the other weird thing is she's like, he always hated people that did drugs. And he was hard on me. Basically, he threatened to not be my friend if I did drugs. And I thought that was so cool of him.
Yeah. Says one of the most remarkable aspects of Danny's character is his unwavering commitment to discouraging the use of drugs. And he was found guilty of drugging women before he raped them.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's a whole different type of drug.
you don't do your own drugs. I bring the drugs.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And
You
you
do my
shouldn't know
drugs.
that you're taking them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he wasn't doing them.
Yeah.
And then look at this. This is how Ashton ended the letter. Can you read that last sentence with the red underline, Kyle?
Yes. Let's see. I do not believe he is an ongoing harm to society, and having his daughter raised without a present father would be a tertiary injustice in and of itself. Thank you for taking the time to read this.
There's no way he wrote this.
And you even fixed it up, Kyle. You added the correct punctuation.
Yeah.
I underlined the part where he's missing a word.
Yeah, would a tertiary injustice.
This is the last letter that the judge is going to see.
Yeah.
Who would take this letter seriously?
Yeah.
What a dope.
There's typos.
Yeah, exact. First of all, spell check as the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
It wouldn't bring up that though.
I mean, what
To
a
play devil's advocate.
what a doofus.
A grammar check for sure.
It's either him or his publicist that wrote that. He probably just signed the bottom of it, to be honest.
Or Chat GPT.
Yeah, that's it.
That would be funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a big tech guy, so maybe.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. He's got this whole tech venture trying to figure out how to coordinate, people who are actually victims of sexual abuse.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's just like, well, unless they're my friend, then I hope he gets out early. So, yeah, we have one comment on the Ashton Kutcher episode that someone said, yeah, who cares? If that was my friend, I'd want him to be, I would want it not to be true too. But he doesn't say in his interviews that he doesn't want it to be true. He says he wants him to be found innocent. And he already knows all the details. He knows the 3 victims involved. He knows Danny very well. So clearly he knows that something really bad has happened to multiple people. And he still is like, I want him to be found not guilty.
So, yeah, Ashton is fighting for human rights, especially Danny Masterson's.
Yeah, mostly.
Convicted rapist.
My God.
Here's them at the Scientology Gala,
Yep.
a Christmas show.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Then they look like they're having the time of their lives.
I think that hat is worse than anything I've ever seen in the world. Like, what is going on with that hat?
It's a nice pickup artist fedora type deal right
What's going on with that? Like, did someone in
We don't wanna
Scientology
know.
say, like, hey, this is a good hat for you to wear?
And then
Maybe David Miscavige is like, hey, I need you to wear this hat. But
Yeah, fedoras are usually either worn by Freddy Krueger or pedophile creeps.
Yeah.
David Miscavige is like, I don't know where my wife is, but I need you to wear this hat.
Yeah, my wife's under that hat. Don't tell anybody.
All right, so let's hear the apology.
So this is the post-letter apology after the backlash.
Yes, they got a ton of backlash, so they had to. The news was developing so fast with this story.
Yeah.
The moment the letters were released, basically, they had to issue this apology on Instagram.
Whoops.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
And these are actors.
A couple months ago,
she's
Danny
annoyed.
reached out to us and they asked us to write
He's not even
character
awake.
letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years, so that the judge could take that into full consideration.
This is the
relative to
least
the
passionate apology I've ever
The
heard.
letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read.
Oh,
Not to undermine
that's
the
right.
testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that.
They were
Really?
meant for the judge
And
to
we're
read.
sorry if that has taken place.
So that
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
How about Danny Masterson's victims?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What a
And who
joke.
they both know personally. And they say, to anyone who's ever been affected by sexual abuse. It's like, no, you should apologize to the 3 people that you totally fucked over.
That was through gritted teeth.
Oh, she's pissed. And he just feels like, annoyed and hungover.
Yeah, he had too much red wine last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, those lights aren't really helping them out. They're very attractive people, but they've been in better shape.
Yeah. They're more attractive at the Scientology gala here.
She always seemed very likable to me, but that puts her way down in my opinion.
Ever since she played the witch in that awful Wizard of Oz movie, she's been down a peg for me.
Which one's that?
The one that
James Franco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want to talk about
Was
that.
in a hot balloon. Looking at 18-year-olds through binoculars.
Oh
Jesus.
yeah, he's another one.
I know. She's surrounded by them.
I know.
My God. Okay, and then I guess the last thing I just want to say is Ashton Kutcher, as if his character hasn't been questioned enough this week, as if his reputation hasn't been tarnished enough. I have found an instance where he said the C word on CNN while talking about sex trafficking.
Okay.
I wonder what C word we're talking about. Child?
Candy?
And this comes from a YouTuber named Husey.
Okay.
Shout out Husey.
30 years old, he's married, he has no criminal record, because there's an assumption in society, there's a cultural conditioning that takes place, and it happens in locker rooms and in places all around the country.
What?
All right, anyway.
All around the cunt.
Tree.
Yeah, good.
All right, so that's the latest developments. Basically, we did the Ashton episode, and I made the argument that he very much could have witnessed the murder. And then one of Danny Masterson's victims has corroborated that theory.
The timing was crazy.
There's also another clip that we can put in post, but it's of Ashton Kutcher on Punk'd being like, we're going to get Hillary Duff today. She's a 15-year-old girl. She's one of the girls that we're all waiting to turn 18.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, that was
creepy.
a thing for a while. Like, I can't wait till they turn 18.
Barely legal.
Like the Olsen twins. I can't wait till they turn 18.
Jailbait.
Yeah, that's when pedophiles were open about their...
No subtlety in the pedophile business back then.
Then Chris Hansen started kicking ass.
Why don't you take a seat?
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to take a seat next time
on Death and Entertainment.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.